All right, what's up, everyone? This is Game Night. I'm Daniel Hofflich, and joined with me in the party chat tonight is Stephen Russell and Peter Kiernan. And sitting on deck to come in and chime with his thoughts is Mr. Xbox himself, Andrew Hofflich. He will be here to give his impressions of what we saw on PlayStation 5 Games event, which was freaking incredible, phenomenal event. So we're just gonna. What's up?
I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Ooh, okay. So we got Steven.
I don't think it was incredible. It was really good. Not incredible or phenomenal, but
okay.
I think they did what they were supposed to do.
Okay, let's just dive in then, man. Let's get right to it. I'm standing up right now because my table has a 1,000-piece puzzle on it, and I can't move it. So I'm standing up, so you get to see the energy. You know what I mean? The energy. All right, we're gonna go over to Steven first because he's already said. Actually, quick thoughts. We know Steven. He thought it was good. He didn't think it was incredible or phenomenal. But Peter, what do you just give me give me 2 words. Just give me 2 words. 2-word reaction.
Really good.
Really good. All right. So, Steven, why?
I can't argue with.
Why wasn't it incredible or phenomenal?
I mean, I think Sony did what they needed to do. Like the console was revealed. Who said it?
Yeah, there it is. Hey, I am so happy to be proven wrong on this prediction.
I'm glad I was right. Yeah.
I'm happy I was wrong. Like this is a good thing for me. Prove me wrong. PlayStation, they revealed the console. I'm really excited to talk about the console as well. So Steven, do you want to explain a little bit further of why you thought it was just good, or do you just want to let the podcast do the talking as we do the conversation here?
Like I said, Sony did what they had to do. They came out with some really strong games. It was a bit of like a sizzle reel, though. They did mix in gameplay, which I thought was fantastic. But a lot of it was just in-game engine footage, too. But I do like the fact that they mixed in gameplay as well as in-game footage stuff. So I thought that was a positive thing they did. The console obviously was more of the highlight. A lot of the stuff was nothing that was kind of like really unexpected in terms of like games. Like they kind of, announced some of their bigger ones. They did sprinkle in a couple ones that I haven't seen before, but I think they did a good job. Like I'm not going to say it was phenomenal like you, but it was really good.
All right. That's fair. I like that. So let's just dive into this console reveal because I want to talk about that. I think that's the first thing people want to hear anyway, because the console has finally been revealed. We have a look of the machine, and for me, I freaking love it. It looks futuristic. It looks fun. It looks actually at the same time futuristic. It also looks kind of retro, man. You know what I mean? It brings back the fun look of a console. It brings back like that N64 weird looking designs that I love from these gaming machines in the past, and it brings into this alien type tech.
So that was the first thought of mine was Alienware. It looks like an Alienware computer.
That's true.
That's exactly
like an Alienware tower. I got to turn off my volume real quick, guys. Okay, that's getting annoying. All right, there we go. Like my phone's just blowing up because of the PlayStation 5 event, guys. All right, it's muted now, so don't worry about that. But yeah, it does look like Alienware, like an Alienware tower. That's true. But it's
not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing at all.
I think my kind of favorite thing about it is those blue accents that go with the controller. I think that's really a nice feature of the console.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to bring up the picture now so I can just sit here and look at this thing. Yeah, it's just one thing. There's one thing, and this Andrew will probably bring it up because when I talked to him earlier, he brought up it's a good point. How's this thing going to lay down? Is it going to be able to lay down?
They've showed a picture already. PlayStation with literally the last 5 minutes.
Okay.
They've sent a few images, so it can lay flat as a normal console.
But, so they have pictures of it laying down.
Yeah, so yeah, like I don't even know if the stand will come with the actual console itself. Usually they don't, except for the PS4 model I have here, which is the 500 series edition, which comes with the stand. But
Do they have one from the back? Because I like to see the back.
I'd like to see that bad. I'm gonna bring up a picture,
How
guys.
I
You guys keep
haven't
talking.
seen it
how
yet.
thick is it? How
How
thick is
thick?
it? You know?
Thick. Keep talking, guys. I'm gonna bring up a picture so that we can have it on the
Yeah,
screen.
and like you see from if you've seen the prototypes, well, the dev kits, it's in a V shape. If you look closely enough at the new console, you can actually see where the black part starts. It's actually very similar to a V shape. So there is a bit of similarity there from what we can see from the photos. So hopefully that'll be really good for the cooling issue. And when I'm playing my PS4 Pro, there it sounds like a jet engine when I'm playing Warzone. So
That
hopefully that's
is
all
Yeah,
eliminated.
that's one thing I want to find
That's
out,
a big
man. I
thing.
want to see if it's gonna sound like a freaking AC unit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I imagine the design of the new PlayStation is they kept that in mind. Obviously, just like want the cooling to be as perfect as possible. And then of course,
I think
how different
I
is that
think
going to
this
be with the
might be
digital
the
SKU?
yeah. The digital SKU actually kind of has me interested, just because
Mm.
most of my games are digital anyways. I have a few discs here and there, but majority of my games are, digital. Like
Yeah.
if Xbox does the same thing, which I kind of feel it will, I might be likely to buy the digital version just because I never really played like disc games anymore. So I think it was kind of a big deal for Sony to kind of actually get out in front and do that all digital one, because I kind of feel like Microsoft is going to do the same thing, but it was kind of neat to see Sony actually be the first to come out with it for this generation.
There it is, yeah. And what's kind of surprising about that is I didn't even think for a second that they'll do a digital edition or have one at
I
launch,
didn't
which
either. I really didn't.
it didn't even
Because
cross my mind. So I think
yeah,
kudos to Sony for actually here's two SKUs, two different price points. I would imagine we still have to find out the price later on,
I would
but
imagine it would be
that's a
50
big
to
factor.
100 bucks cheaper.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
got to
I
be
go
100,
100.
50 to 100. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I go $100 cheaper for sure. Taking the disk drive out definitely eliminates that kind of production cost. Um,
and yeah, I love the way the controller and the console just complement each other. You know,
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
it's a really nice package. That's probably the best way.
mhm.
And I give Sony more credit on how different they've gone with this design compared to the last few PlayStations. They're all traditionally, black bar the PS1, but they've really, gone out of the comfort zone. I would say, with the design, refreshing to see, and that was probably indicated with the digital sense as well. Different that controller is from all the other dual shocks, and so that's really that's really
Yeah.
exciting to
Yeah.
see that now next to.
Oh, Peter, your microphone's cutting out pretty bad, man. But yeah, like the I just freaking love the design, guys. I love this design.
Yeah, I
Uh,
like it. I've actually liked it more than I expected to. Honestly, I wasn't expecting the Sony. It's kind of a bold move, like Peter was saying, for Sony, just because their last console designs have been nothing that was really like uh, big and bold. Like this one is, they're just kind of streamlined consoles before. This one's like a slick, and it like calls out, says, "Yo, look at me!" Like it's a good looking console.
yeah.
Now, I don't
Yeah,
buy consoles based on how they look, but if I mean, it's a good
it
looking
helps.
console. Yeah,
Yes. Oh my god. All right. So that's the console. Oh wait, we have Mr. Xbox just logged in. I see him on deck. I'd like to bring him in here real quick just to just give his thoughts on the console itself. So I'm gonna bring him in real quick, guys. Oh,
that's not real quick.
yeah. Let me be the I gotta be the host so he can know what I'm doing. So let me swap in. Here we go. Okay. Mr. Xbox, you're live on the Game Night podcast. How you doing, man? Oh, no audio from Mr. Xbox. We're gonna switch back out. All right, Mr. Xbox needs
And
Mr. Xbox needs to get his
Just like
audio real quick, and then we'll get his thoughts. But yeah, all right. So I got the full list of details that everything that they announced today, which is freaking insane. All the stuff they announced today. They started off the show with Grand Theft Auto 5. Now it's gone from the PS3 to the PS4 to the PS5. It's been on 3 different generations of consoles, which
I don't think you'll ever see a game like that again.
No.
Just dominating the gaming industry, and how much more money is generate now across the new consoles, and a free upgrade to the PS5.
Oh man,
they're doing.
We're having audio issues right now. I'm so it's crazy, guys. The PS5 is just taking over the internet. They used all of their internet power to ruin the extreme quality
Not
of
me,
everything.
baby. I'm here.
They had over, I think it was over, what did they say? Over 9 million people watching.
It was a lot. I didn't see exact numbers, but
yeah.
I do like, so with GTA 5, it actually came out at the end of the 360 PlayStation 3 cycle. So they just ended up redoing it for the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're redoing it for PlayStation 4, 5, and presumably Xbox Series X. Which, why wouldn't you do it for both, honestly? But
they will. Yeah, it'll be.
But it was kind of weird that Sony led with that. Like, that was an interesting choice for leading.
To lead, yeah, I didn't like the opening. I almost feel like it was kind of like, hey, maybe people haven't really tuned in yet, so let's just throw in Grand Theft Auto 5 and make it an extended trailer out of it, just in case, not everybody's on time. But here we go, Mr. Xbox, how you doing, man? Your microphone working now? Oh, dude, still not working, man. Still no microphone. Still no audio from Mr. Xbox. Dude, this is so
he's not Mr. PC, let's say that.
Dude, and then they went on with Spider-Man Miles Morales, which looks like it was go ahead.
So apparently that's coming out holiday 2020.
Yeah, that looks like it's a launch title. That looks like a launch title.
I didn't see that. They didn't show that in the, unless I missed it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember seeing that in the trailer on the PlayStation stream.
They did show the actual holiday 2020 pop up. So I immediately said, oh, well, there it is. That's a launch title, which is cool. I'm just kind of curious if it almost going to feel like a DLC, or is it going to be this full-fledged game for Miles Morales? Like, is it technically a sequel without saying Spider-Man 2, or is it just here's a story add-on? You know what I mean? And you're going to be in the same world as the PS4 version, but it's just going to look a lot better.
Oh, I think it's here.
There he is. Andrew is here.
Hear me?
I can hear you, Mr. Xbox. How are you doing today?
Oh, very nice. Thank you. I'm still trying to get used to how to use this program. I always have to change my audio source. My bad.
That's all right, dude.
As Steven said, I am not Mr. PC.
Is that? So, dude, what do you think of the actual console reveal?
The console design itself?
Yeah, the console design, yeah.
I liked it. It was very sleek. I like at first I really liked the color combination. Like, during the whole presentation, I really liked the white with the pop of blue. Like, I thought that was really nice. And then the console itself, like, when I first saw it, I actually said, wow, like, that's really nice. And then as I looked at, like, my entertainment stand, to me, I'd rather have just an all black console. 'Cause, I mean, I do like the fun designs and I do like the fun consoles, but I don't like the fun colors. Like if Xbox came out with a green console, I wouldn't buy that.
Oh, I would
because I've kind of gotten out of, I guess, since I've bought a home. I really like the nice, sleek everything to kind of be uniform. But I think that console in an all black would look really, really nice. And then I love the controller, I guess. I don't really like I like the color combination, but maybe if they do it a little different, I'm not too fond of like the black on the very bottom and then the white on top, if that makes sense. But I do like the white overshadowing the black is what I'm saying for like.
Yeah. The two tone, yeah, it's really I like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the blue accents are probably my favorite part of it, just because they kind of make it pop a little bit more.
right. And
And
then
Yeah.
I
something.
do like how it does tie in with the controller. That's like kind of neat looking.
Yeah.
Well, one thing
One.
that go ahead,
Go ahead.
Alex. No,
Oh, I
because
was going to say
yeah,
the thing I noticed right away was because I know everybody's big complaint about the series. Yeah, there it is. The Series X was it was so big and it was just bulky. And when I look at this console, it almost looks taller than the Series X, maybe by just a little bit, and it's definitely wider, I think. But I'm curious, can it lay down horizontal? Because I don't know, it's kind of got that 360 curvature to it, but I'm kind of curious if it'll lay down or does it have to stand up? Like that's my kind of concern.
Yeah. From what we've seen, it's gonna definitely lie down from what Sony's just released for the images. So yeah,
Oh,
that should be
okay.
a problem. But yeah, it's a out there console. Looks really nice. So definitely looking forward to. I'm just looking at it here as yeah, definitely want to see the back of it. Just want to see the connections, the power, the HDMI. And kind of see
Right.
what else they're working with back there as well, especially for the 3D audio as well, because that's obviously going to be a big thing for PlayStation this generation.
yeah.
Looks nice.
When I keep looking at the machine, if you can find that image, Peter, can you just like send it to
Yeah.
me in the in the Facebook message so I can bring it up on screen? I haven't been able to find an image of it laying down yet. Every time I look at this picture, it looks like it does do like this. It does do like this curve to it. And, like it looks both rounded on both sides.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
I have it here.
Okay,
Send it on
okay.
to you.
Peter's going to send me that picture so I can see it, and I'll bring it up on screen for you guys to see it if you're watching on youtube.com/game night hype. But yeah, I got to see this thing laying down because I'm very curious of what it looks like.
Okay,
There,
makes
oh,
sense.
it lays down on the disk side, like where the disk drive
Oh,
goes.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
it,
sure though. I'm not sure if that's the digital version or
no,
the
this is the
disc
disc version
version.
that you just sent
It
me.
is okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up on the screen. But yeah, it's laying down on the disc side. It does look like it uses the same stand that goes vertical to make it go vertical, but it puts it on the bottom of it. At least maybe it's not the same exact stand, but we're gonna bring up this image here in a second. I just gotta save it, bring it over to stage 10. Um, but yeah, it looks like it's laying down on a stand. Here we go. Bringing it in now. Oops.
Yeah, I'm just hoping with the heating, that's not an issue. Yeah, so you see it there now. Yeah, so you see the stand, the disc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That looks pretty slick to me, and you can see, the fans there for air. So like that looks like that should really like be breathing okay. That shouldn't have any heat issues or create loud noises like the PS4 Pro. So
that's what I
that's a big thing for me.
that's my biggest concern with this design right now is like I want to hear how it like if it's going to sound like a freaking freight train. Well, we just lost Andrew, but if it's going to sound like a freight train coming
Yeah.
out or an AC unit or whatever, but like. Whoa, Steven's
That
back in the
was my
stream.
PlayStation 4.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Pretty accurate description.
That was an accurate description of what the PS4 sounds like especially when you're playing Last of Us. But yeah, I'm waiting to see if the vents, because there's so many of them, and like how does the air flow through it? Obviously, we've seen Series X; they break it down to literally show you how this thing, flows and creates air movement. But this, I'm really interested. Where's the fan at? Like, because it's got
Well, I think
vents on the
yeah.
top and the side.
So it's probably like a wall almost on each side with fans. I would imagine. No, I can't confirm that, but that's what it looks like to me.
Do
And
you think?
what I like about Yeah, go ahead.
I'm so yeah. I'm like, I'm just looking at it, and I'm just like thinking, we haven't seen the back of it yet. Do you think that we'll see like a lot of fans pulling air from the back, and basically the back will be nothing but a big grate, and with some, with the HDMI ports and all that other good stuff, but basically just a big air vent that pulls
I
air
have,
in and then shoots it out the top inside there.
yeah, like without seeing the back, I kind of have a feeling it's going to be pretty similar to the front. Obviously, you'll have the different connections, but I think you're going to have that kind of, the grill going right around, maybe by the looks of it. But that's one thing Mark Cerny mentioned in his, his GDC talk presentation about the loudness of the PlayStation when it hits a certain level.
Yeah,
So,
I think that
so it
was
looks like
something that
they're,
they heard.
yeah. So it looks like they're wanting to address that straight off the bat with the PS5, which is good. Thank God.
That's cool. Yeah,
Like,
they
that's
did. I
crazy.
remember. Yeah, that's right. Mark Cerny did address that. We're going to dive into all of the reveals here in a second. Andrew just keeps cutting in and out, so we'll come back to him in a second. And then we'll go with Gran Turismo 7. What did you guys think of Gran Turismo 7?
So it looks really good graphic wise. I
The stream
just
didn't help.
don't really get into the hyper realistic racing games anymore. Like, but it looks amazing graphically. It looks phenomenal. So
Yeah, I think.
I mean,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. It looks pretty good. I don't think like the low quality of the stream helps. I think we all have to like watch it
oh yeah,
tomorrow
definitely.
on 4K to really appreciate it. But yeah, look, it's gonna be solid. It's Gran Turismo. It's gonna be, I assume, a launch title or just after
Well,
launch. So
so they never did like a 100% Gran Turismo title for 4, right? Like they had Sport and that was it.
no, yeah, just
Like they
sport.
haven't
Yeah,
had Yeah, they haven't had a real Gran Turismo title since PlayStation 3.
yeah. So
So,
this is like this is like the next proper sequel, if you want to call it that, for the Gran Turismo series.
well, that's cool because I mean, Gran Turismo was like the racing game for quite a while, and then of
Yeah,
course Forza came
Forza
on the
came in.
scene. So
Yeah,
Forza, I think, has kind of made Gran Turismo rethink it a little bit because they did such a good job with the Forza franchise. So, I mean, what if we end up seeing a Gran Turismo like Horizons? Like, but do you think that's like a thing? Like, I don't think that would ever be a thing.
yeah.
Why would
I
we-
could go on like that.
Oh, all right. Peter's Mike keeps cutting out, but Andrew, what did you think of Gran Turismo 7 as from an Xbox perspective? Oh Jesus. All right. So Andrew has nothing to say about Gran Turismo 7,
He
apparently.
looks like he had something to say, but he just couldn't get it out.
He did. He did. All right. Well, that looks like Andrew's stream is definitely a little wacky. But hey, I mean, I'm getting a storm here. Maybe it's on my end. I'm not sure. We got a big storm going on outside. But yeah, like okay, so we're gonna move through this a little bit quicker. We had Gran Turismo 7 following Grand Theft Auto. Then after that, dude, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, a brand new Ratchet and Clank game. Looks freaking awesome as you pull through rifts. I guess if you want to say it, man, I'm gonna drop it now. The SSD looks like it's really showcasing here,
Yeah.
like highlighting the SSD as things are just loading in at rapid speed. It's insane. I loved it. It looked like next gen to me. I will say that if you like took a screenshot of it, you may be able to compare it to the PS4 Ratchet and Clank, but in motion, it looks like next gen to me.
Yeah, it looked really smooth. It looked very crisp. Uh, I thought this was one of Sony's better titles they showed because it was a lot of gameplay. Like at first,
Yeah.
they do the in-game footage, and then they went and actually showed gameplay. That's my favorite part. So you could show me that in-game footage video, but if you follow it up with some gameplay, like that's what I want to see. Like I don't want to see just an in-game footage. Like the fact that they actually played it was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we got right after Ratchet and Clank Project Athea, which got me. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Project Athia, Project Athea, whatever. It was by Square Enix and Luminous
Yeah.
Productions, which Luminous Productions is tied with Final Fantasy. So is it Final Fantasy 16? I'm not sure, but man, it looked amazing. And apparently, this was captured from PlayStation 5 in game. So that really has me excited to see where we're going to go. If it is going to be Final Fantasy 16, and if it is Final Fantasy 16, it looks like we have a female protagonist, which is cool. We haven't had one since Final Fantasy 13, and she just looks awesome. If it is Final Fantasy, it definitely looks like it's shying away from that. I don't know, like flamboyant looking atmosphere, and more
Really?
like dark. And like this looked like a very dark setting for if it is a Final Fantasy 16. So
This is the one I missed because I was working and watching at the same time, so I missed this one.
It
yes,
actually looked like to me the Unreal 5 tech demo show there last month or a few weeks ago. That originally looked like to me. But,
yeah, okay,
it
it
has
did a little bit. Yeah.
similarities.
That flying through the environment part
Yeah.
of the video, definitely. I think they're like, hey, we can do it, man. We can do this now on next gen. You'll be able to zip through environments. I think Spider-Man will probably, like the Miles Morales game will probably it should have showcased that, like where you're gonna be able to zip through the city, but they did kind of do that in a tech video a while back. But yeah, so and then we go over to Stray, which it definitely was a short teaser trailer, which I think these kind of teaser trailers are kind of I don't know, pointless because we don't know what the game is. So when you give us a little tiny teaser and then a title logo, I mean, cool. We know the title of it and we know what the atmosphere is, but it didn't really stand out to me. Returnal though
Looks
looked awesome, and that was
Yeah.
announced by I thought that was a Gorilla.
Is that from the guy who
Gearbox.
wrote Dead Space?
Oh,
Is
was that?
the horror one?
Oh, so that was the guy who wrote Dead Space. So that was
I
like what
think
he's
so.
been hyping up.
That's what it reminded me of because
It
I
might have
know there's
been.
rumors. Yeah.
It might have been the
That
game
looks
because
cool.
he did say tune in because he's going to announce it. So that might have
Yeah.
been the game that he was working on. But yeah, like it looks awesome. Alien Planet. I mean, just really cool, showing off the power of next gen faux show. Let me see if let me see. We go on the Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Okay, now this one I'm actually kind of excited about it because it definitely has literally Super Mario 3D World written all over. Like, you know what I mean? Like it looks
Yeah,
exactly
true.
like Super Mario 3D World.
So is it a spin-off on Little Big Planet where it's just kind of Sackboy in his own like platforming game? Because I couldn't like.
Oh, so yeah, it looked like a spin-off. It looked like a single player, or not a single player, but like a 4-player adventure through
Okay.
this. Yeah, it basically looks like Super Mario 3D World. It literally has that same vibe, the same isometric top-down looking camera. So yeah, I mean, which is cool. It's a family game. They showed a few of those during this stream, and the funny thing is that none of the family games seemed like they would be like too cheesy, and I'm like, oh, I don't ever want to play that, or that's too childish. They all seemed really cool. Like they just look like games that I would want to play as well.
2D cheesy.
It wasn't too D cheesy. Gamer tag drop. Yo, Andrew, what's up, man? I know you liked Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U. So is that Mr. Xbox? Is it enough to bring you over to PlayStation 5? God dang it!
Nope.
All right, yeah. We're just gonna have like just a montage of trying to go to Mr. Xbox, and then he's just gonna say nothing. Like that's like that's just
Peter, he's drinking.
We don't even need to have him. Yeah, there he is.
Help me, Jack.
Just like, hey, Mr. Xbox, what did you think of that? Alrighty then, moving on.
Perfect.
Oh
Perfect for the
man,
PlayStation podcast.
I guess yeah. I guess we can just assume that it wasn't enough to bring him over to the PS5. We're gonna find something that will bring him over to PS5. But anyways, so Sackboy Adventures, straight up 3D Mario World looking adventure, looks really fun. I'm excited. We
I
go
like
over
it. I like how
to
they did something different with Little Big Planet, like how they actually made it like a game that wasn't just a creation type deal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's smart of them to kind of expand upon Sackboy in general because I'm a sucker for the mascots, and I kind of like to see those mascots return.
Yeah,
Like,
gotcha.
I think Astrobot would be especially with the console design of the PS5. Like Astrobot looks like, hey, here's our mascot.
Yeah, pretty
It
much.
looks exactly like it. You know what I mean? So they did show Astrobot a little later on, which also looked a little more Mario, but it kind of they need that. I think PlayStation needs that, and if anybody needs it, Xbox really needs that. That platformery that Super Lucky's Tale is just not going to cut it. We go over to Destruction All Stars, which Twisted Metal, like, but for PS5, right?
Yeah, I thought it was almost like a sequel to Rocket League. I couldn't decide what it was, but a lot of fun for the online and then co-op. I can only assume as well.
All right. Yeah, so that was cool. Let me. Okay, he said his mic is working. One more time, Mister Xbox. How you doing? It's not gonna work, dude. It's not gonna work. Oh, that sucks. All right, so we're not gonna get Mister
Uh,
Xbox's thoughts today. We might
he's
keep
tried.
checking back in to see what happens. But yeah, Destruction All Stars looks really fun. I just really love that. It looks like Twisted Metal, set in more of a futuristic arena. I love it. Destruction Derby and all that good stuff. Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Now this one was the game that reminded me a lot of Cameo. That was a 360 launch title. If you guys remember that one, looked a lot like
I do.
Cameo Elements of Power, I think it was called, but it kind of gave me that vibe, and I dig it. I like it. Just once again, nothing is falling short so far. We're a couple game announcements
Yeah.
in, and I'm still on board. I'm sold. I'm sold on this one. But we'll go on. We'll go on to the next announcement, which was Goodbye Volcano High, and there it is. As soon that was a bad segue. Yep, there it is. We have crashed on my ship. But I mean, what did you guys think? It
I
was
mean, you're
just not for
cool.
me. Just not for me. That's all.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, not my game.
Yeah.
Sony had like I think every game conference has these type of games where it's like
Yeah,
it goes for like a really set type of audience. It's not for the the broad spectrum. Uh, it's every conference, dude. They're gonna sprinkle in some stuff that's like, what is this like in here for? Like, why? But every console conference does that. So I mean, it's kind of to be expected. You're not gonna have like hit after hit every single time.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay.
yeah.
They need to put a spotlight on these indie
They,
games.
they had a bit of
Yeah.
everything for everyone. I think in this showcase. I
Right.
think.
Yeah.
No.
I knew it was coming. Like Steven said, we knew it was coming. It wasn't for me, but it wasn't enough to derail me completely. I was on board still because they followed it up right
It's for
with
somebody.
it's for somebody.
Yeah.
They followed it up with Oddworld, Soulstorm,
Oddworld.
which this game
Eh,
was announced for a while, like years ago. I saw the
Yeah, I think it was.
train trailer a long time ago.
Yeah, it
For
looks fun. I think a lot of OG PlayStation fans will pick that up. I'll probably miss it because I didn't really play it back then. But yeah, I'm sure it has its
yeah.
audience, obviously.
Mr. Xbox.
Man, is it working?
Oh, I can hear.
There we
We
go.
we have audio of Mr.
No.
Xbox.
I'm back.
I'm back,
Oh,
baby.
man. I missed everything I wanted to talk about. That's okay.
All right, well let's just all those things that we just talked about. Any of those stand out to you?
Yes, Ratchet and Clank look great.
Ratchet and Clank looks good. Yeah, that
That
game.
looked great, and the destruction What was it called again?
Oh crap! What was it called? Let me bring it back up
Can't
so we
remember.
can get it.
All
Destruction
Stars.
All Stars. Yep, Destruction
Yeah,
All
that
Stars.
looked awesome too. It looked like I thought it was going to be Twisted Metal, but then it looked too cartoony, and it almost had like you know the Xbox Bleeding Edge game. It had like that art style, but Twisted Metal. That looked tight. I did like that.
Nice. All right.
Those two look really good.
And so anything so far like saying you have to go out and get a PlayStation, Andrew?
For me, no, but that's just because I play when I can, so it's kind of Xbox
Right.
is my go-to a lot of games. Now if they keep showing stuff like that Destruction game that looked great, the
Mhm.
Ratchet and Clank look good. See, I like those games. I also like the older, platforming type games and whatnot. So I don't know if they keep showing stuff like that. I was impressed with those two games.
Okay. What about Ghostwire Tokyo, which followed that announcement? This is Ghostwire Tokyo. We saw this back at Bethesda's conference last year. Bethesda dropped two games, at least that I counted. Two games, big games. Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop that they showed last year. Looks like we saw a little bit more gameplay of Deathloop, but we definitely saw a lot of gameplay of Ghostwire. So what did you think of that, guys? It looked very Bethesda to me.
I think the Ghostwire. I think the most intriguing part of that is the whole Tokyo setting. I think that's pretty cool. There's not too many games set there. I think Sleeping Dogs maybe. I think might be one that I can think of. But it looks pretty interesting. I want to see more of it. FPS with I don't know what would you call it, magic or a bit of telekinesis type thing. Looks pretty interesting. Has enough for me to kind of be interested and see what more they can show.
Okay. All right. Steven, what did you think?
On the COVID-19. Ghostwire Tokyo looked pretty cool. I like. I was just looking at something that said COVID-19, so the ghost that game looked pretty cool. Like I like the art design, like Peter said. I like the Japan setting, like or the Tokyo setting. So it's something I'd be interested in. Probably won't get it right away. I don't think there's nothing with PlayStation that I have to have right away. But I will get one, just not at launch, most likely. I kind of get my PlayStation later, just because I like to have it. But I don't know. I'm just excited for next gen in general, just because you can see with what was showcased today, some of the cool stuff that they can actually do with this generation's hardware, and we've really. We're still talking. Sorry. we really haven't even seen what you can really fully do with these consoles yet. It's a lot to be excited about for just gamers in general. Like whether you're on the Xbox side, PlayStation side, or both in the middle. I think it's exciting.
It's funny you brought that up because me and Dan, I called Danny right after the conference to get his initial reaction to it. And I ended up bringing that up. I was like, for the first time with new consoles, even though, I'm kind of on the one side right now, I was like, it's kind of exciting to actually watch the competition, because instead of, like 360 and PS3 were essentially the same console. The Xbox One and PS4 essentially were the same console. These two, it's like, Sony does, if the speed they showed, especially in, I just bring up Ratchet and Clank, like how fast things were just rolling through. If they can keep that up, it's going to be interesting to see how, like the two different consoles, like Xbox is probably going to have the better graphics and all that, but can they keep up with the speed of the PlayStation? Or is that going to be PlayStation's strength this whole generation, is all these games doing like super quick loading? And it's pretty exciting because you actually have two different consoles for the first time. So I agree.
My question is though, is the specifics to the SSD going to be better used by first-party titles, or is the multi-platform aspect going to be able to take advantage of that same SSD? We haven't really had a speed comparison between the Xbox SSD and the PlayStation one. So until we actually have that, we're not going to really know how much of a difference that SSD is actually going to make.
True.
Yeah, that's going to be the big thing this console generation. We got teraflops versus SSD, basically. Kind of that they both have their significant advantages, but we got to see how it pans out, especially for multi-platform games. So we would go over. We got Jet: The Far Shore, which looks interesting. I have no idea what the heck I was looking at. Definitely very indie game. That was the one where that rocket ship was kind of like just gliding along the ground and the water. That looked pretty cool, but they followed it up with Godfall, which I think this game is going to be their big push for launch. I think Godfall is going to be their launch title. I don't think we're going to see Horizon Zero Dawn or anything, or Horizon Forbidden Wilds, right? Isn't that what it's called?
I think it said Horizon 2
Forbidden West. Sorry, the Forbidden West. Yes.
Yeah.
There was a little 2 there at the in between the two.
It's
titles.
really small though.
It is. It's really small. It's very subtle.
It's like the really.
For a second, I thought it was like press pause.
It.
They were like Horizon pause.
Yeah, right.
Forbidden Wilds. But yeah, this I think this is going to be their big push game. This has the PlayStation first party uniqueness to it. It's the third party, it's a third person action adventure game. It's set by. It looks like God of War ish. So it looks like it's going to be. This is their big push for launch. What do you guys think?
Wait, did you just say a third-person action-adventure game?
Yeah. So the Sony uniqueness is there.
I was gonna say I haven't seen those too many on PlayStation, but Godfall, it does like the world looks pretty cool. Like, I think one of the things I'm most excited about for like games now though is the environments. Like, I like to see what they can actually do with the environments, and Godfall looks like it does a pretty good job of like making that environment really kind of stand out, and like it just kind of shows you the tip of kind of what we can do with making you feel like you're in the world. Like, I think that's what this generation is going to be all about, is like games that make you feel like you're in that world. So with the PlayStation controller, I think that's going to be a pretty good, because it's got like the
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the game, the controller. It seems.
For Godfall, I found the Godfall a bit odd the way they showed the trailer. First of all, the music didn't go with the trailer they're showing.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And the trailer was odd because that's the kind of trailer you show after you've shown a story trailer, after we actually know what the game's about. So I found that a bit odd. I'm going to rewatch it tomorrow in 4K so I can see it better. Didn't do anything for me for Godfall, I have to say. It was like, looks okay.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Peter. Yeah, I agree with you, Peter. Like they should have shown us some. Like, what is this game? We know it looks cool. So show us
right.
why we're doing this stuff. But I agree. It should have followed a story trailer. It did look pretty cool, especially if it is co-op. Like I think I remember hearing something about some co-opness to it.
It got like a Destiny vibe off it, almost.
Yeah, and it's made by Gearbox, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah.
So they're all about co-op. So if you're able to do like if the pitch for this game is God of War co-op, I'm cool. You know what I mean? I'm cool with that. I like that.
Yeah.
Solar Ash was next from the creators of Hyper Light Drifter or Hyper Light Drift. That looked pretty cool. I don't think they really showed anything on it that made me like. I don't think they showed any gameplay on it really. Hitman 3 followed that, which is another big announcement. Hitman 3 looks super cool. It's going to conclude the trilogy that they rebooted a few years back. Astro's Playroom, which was what we were talking about earlier, how this looks exactly like a like the system itself. So this is the mascot. Yeah. I'm going to call it Game Night's unofficial PlayStation 5 mascot. There it is. We're just going to go ahead.
There you go.
Yeah, we've made the announcement. It's good. That one looks pretty fun. I still don't really know exactly if this is I guess it's a single-player adventure game, but the way it says Astro's Playroom kind of makes me think that it's like a Mario Party. What is this?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's not a VR title because there's no mention of that at all.
Hmm.
So it's gonna be like a Little Big Planet type situation. That's the vibes I was getting from it.
Okay.
So I have to see.
Now this one actually looked kind of like at first I was like, oh, here we go. They're bringing back the this indie game that's not for me, but people might like it. And then I was just like, the more it went on, I was like, okay, I'm kind of interested now. The Little Devil Inside,
Oh
it
yeah,
actually looks pretty cool. Like, and it looks funny too. I like the like where this is the one where he drops the bomb down into the cave,
Yeah, that
and then like,
yeah.
it
It
cuts to the
zooms
old
out,
man
but
just dropping a
yeah.
dropping a turd in the toilet.
I didn't really know what to think of that one. I was like, my initial thought was like, what the hell is going on?
What? Yeah, that one had me for a second. But I'm intrigued, which now I actually remember the name of the title of it because I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to look that up, see what it's all about later on.
Yeah, well,
NBA 2K1 gets its first teaser trailer. Yeah, this is all in-game engine footage.
yeah.
All right, so I don't know if it's like when you
I
hear in engine though, I can never really fully believe
Yeah.
what I'm seeing.
I can only speak from the FIFA point of view because I don't play NBA or NFL. But usually when I see a new FIFA being shown, they usually look really pretty, and then the actual product itself is slightly less.
Yeah,
So just from what I saw today, looks impressive, but I'd want to see actual gameplay of what that actual looks like running. So
yeah. The lighting coming
right.
in on the and this wasn't a stadium. It wasn't like a basketball arena. It was just
quarantined basketball.
basically, yeah. It was just the guy by himself in like this gym looking area. So there was this cool sunlight beaming through. It gave you that lighting that looks really
Yeah.
cool. The sweat effects. In engine is never to be fully believed unless if it says like this is actual gameplay. Like in engine, we've seen Battlefield 5 do this before. It's a very EA thing to do, like for a sports game, especially to say this is what you're going to play on next gen. Remember back, God, I think it was the PS3. They got revealed and they showed Madden for PS3, and it looked absolutely nothing like what we got, and still doesn't look that good. Like, do you guys remember that?
Right.
They had like the zoom in of
Well,
people's faces and their helments and stuff. Still
Was
looks.
that
so
like the
2K,
reflection off the helmets?
Yeah,
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 I think it was that one, maybe.
I think so.
2K always looks good though, so I think it's going to look pretty darn good compared to even what they show today. And who knows? By the time they get further in the generation, it could look like that. Like even if you look at the X, I played NBA on Xbox One X. It looks really good. Like if someone's walking by the TV that doesn't know it's NBA, like they might not be able to tell. So I can only imagine how good
Yeah.
that's going to look in this coming generation.
That's
Yeah,
true.
especially when they stop kind of when they focus on the new gen and the game because they're obviously making the new basketball game for the current gen as well. So when they can fully focus on the new sports games, that's when you'll really see what they're capable of.
All right, and we got bug snacks. So
Yeah, not my thing. No.
it looked interesting. I don't know. It looked funny. It had.
I don't know what it
starts off
is.
with a strawberry. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I agree with you, Peter. I have no idea.
They gave it a nice long trailer, so
It
Right?
did,
it looked
especially like
interesting.
late on in the showcase.
Right.
Yeah. The fact that they gave it such a long trailer was a little interesting to me too, and they didn't really show much gameplay. It didn't seem. Unless if I just go back and have to watch it again because I was just kind of like, what? Demon Souls
Ooh,
came
big
after
one.
that. This is the game that Blue Point has been working on, and yeah, this is big for
Looks
Sony.
incredible.
Yeah, this is big for Sony. I don't know if you guys are familiar. I don't think Andrew's familiar with Demon Souls, but this is the game that came before Dark Souls. So basically, this is the OG.
Pretty much started everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Souls
So
genre.
yeah, so I mean, this is big for Sony. I think a lot of people are going to be excited. It wasn't
Did
the
they give a
Bloodborne
release
remake that people
window?
were looking for.
Yeah. Did they give a release window for that? For Demon Souls?
No,
I
I
can't.
don't
I
think
can't.
so.
I can't remember if they said 2020 or holiday 2020. Because that'd be big if that was like a
Wow.
launch title. That'd be huge.
If that's a launch title, that is big. Yeah, I'm not sure if they gave a. Not sure if they did.
Yeah, they probably didn't.
Following that was Deathloop, which was Bethesda's first-person stealth game. What gets me about this? What gets me about this one? I have a big question. Now, at the end, that the girl that was hunting him, and he's like, "I gotta break the loop," type thing, and I was like, I was getting single-player vibes. Like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go through this game almost like a roguelike. I was getting roguelike vibes with a first-person
Yeah.
shooter roguelike, and I'm like, okay, so if you die, you basically start at the beginning with maybe all the experience that you earned, and you go back to the beginning, and you have to keep going and until you can get through it. And you will die, it's just like a roguelike. Basically, God, what was the game? The side-scrolling thing. I can't even think of it right now.
Hollow Knight.
The Souls, Dead Souls, I think it was called.
Was it Hollow Knight or something like that? I think as well.
Yeah. Basically, it's your typical roguelike, and I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be first person. This is really cool. And then at the end, it kind of showed somebody playing as the person hunting him,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, is this gonna be a roguelike but with online components, and you can just jump into somebody's game and try to hunt them down?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Looked pretty cool.
And basically, like, maybe if you, I don't know, I'm just kind of just taking this in my own creative mindset now, but like maybe if you jump in as the girl, like you can choose your difficulty level, and by choosing your difficulty level, you get into a match with somebody at that level. Might be interesting. I don't know. That's kind of cool. So if that's the case, then that game just became like a lot more interesting. If it is still a single player and you basically just play both sides of it, it's still cool, but I don't know if it's going to sell me.
Fair.
And then we move on to Resident Evil 8 Village.
I loved that trailer.
Yeah.
I thought it looked really good, especially with the graphics, especially on the old man with the shotgun.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that looks really cool.
Yeah. Resident Evil 8 looked pretty damn awesome, actually. Once I saw like a handful of seconds of it, I was like, that's got to be Resident Evil 8, because it definitely gives you that Resident Evil 7 Biohazard vibe right off the bat. I was like, man, that really gives me that same vibe. And then you got Chris Redfield popping up at the end, so that was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm kind of excited for this one, just because I like the kind of direction that they went with Resident Evil versus the standard, non-first person. Like, it kind of puts you in the game a little bit more when it comes to Resident Evil. Not saying that the third persons were bad at all, but like it's a whole different
so much more
ballgame.
immersive. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like when he's walking through the door and the dude like just shoots out of nowhere with a shotgun, and just like kind of scares the shit out of you. Like you're not expecting it.
I hope that's in VR. Because like Resident Evil 7 was crazy in VR.
They didn't have anything VR related today, it seemed, though. Like it's all just like
No, I
standard...
didn't think they would. It's all the games on the PlayStation 5, so I didn't expect them to.
You don't think so? No, come on. They will have a VR though.
They will. Yeah. But they're probably having a separate event for that.
What was kind of cool though was at the when they showed the console, they did show a camera.
Yeah, I know.
There is the camera.
The controllers, the remote, and yeah.
So the fact that camera is there, it kind of has me. Look, I'm gonna bring it up right here. I'm gonna go full screen overlay with it.
Oh yeah,
I do kind of like how they have the whole lineup.
Yeah,
the camera, yeah.
Like the dual controller stand looks pretty slick. Yeah. The headphones look like they're really
the 3D audio. You know that's gonna be huge. The 3D audio.
Is that 3D audio or 3D?
Oh my god, dude! Yes.
Whatever you want, Steven. Whatever you want.
Does it put leaves around your ears?
In Ireland, they do.
Hey, Peter's Irish, guys. So we go. The PlayStation camera over there looks really cool. I mean, and guys, the fact that the PlayStation camera is there makes me think, are we going to see PSVR 2 eventually? That's kind of cool. And if they do...
I think they have to, yeah.
I'd love to
That
see.
camera looks
Oh,
legit like a
God.
clam.
It looks like a clam. Yep.
The camera does.
It does, yeah, the camera does.
Greg says the console looks like a clam, but I think that camera
Right,
system does.
Pragmata, which is a post-apocalyptic game set in a world where
Is
cats are
that
holograms.
the 2022 one?
That is the
Oh, yeah, that's
the
the one
2022 one.
I thought
I
it
was like,
looked like
the
at
fuck
first. I'm just well, I can't be, and then I was get like because of the guy in the armor suit and the little girl. I was just like, oh, is this like a futuristic Bioshock? So
I
it looked
thought it
real.
was just a space game, like fucking
Yeah,
going through space.
Looks really cool.
It was kind of neat that the little girl was like, she's up in the moon and has like no helmet on or anything. So that makes me think she's like an
Right.
alien or something. I don't know. Like I didn't know what the heck
Yeah.
was going on there. Like just one of those like random trailers they jammed in there. And the fact that it doesn't come out to 2022, I'm like, why the hell are you even showing me this? Like, I don't care if it's not coming out for 2 years.
Well, Andrew, you said that this game piqued your interest.
It did. It was something different. You know, it looks like maybe some kind of travel. You know, some I don't know, 2 different worlds or something. You can travel to.
Intergalactic traveling.
Yeah, it looked pretty neat. Though.
Yeah. It looked like Peter like immediately said looked like Death Stranding, like in the chat, in the Facebook chat, like he was like, is this Death Stranding DLC or something? And then I saw
Death Stranding in space.
yeah,
The little girl though, in different accent. And
yeah,
she
your
had, like,
your headset's cutting out pretty bad, Holmes.
oh, man.
Yeah, so then you had Horizon Forbidden West. Now this
I
was the
called
big
it.
reveal.
Another one.
You did, you called it, but I mean,
Another
hey,
one.
that's crazy. It's not a launch title though, unless at least they didn't give us a date.
They didn't. It was a in-game engine footage BS trailer though. But I do expect this game to look fantastic either way. Like, but I would have liked to see some actual gameplay versus basically showing us a game we already knew was going to happen. But it was nice to see. Just I still got to go back and beat the first one, but I played it some. I played most of it. I just never finished it.
I believe it. I believe that's what the game looks like.
I don't know about that. I don't think it does.
Alright.
Oh, it's definitely pretty close to that. That trailer. We have to see gameplay, of course, but I think that's going to be a pretty close representation of what the game's going to look like. Because like Horizon 1 was gorgeous looking,
Yeah.
and then just seeing the different environments for this new one, and then seeing like the mammoth thing,
Yeah.
like that was really cool.
I think this is what we're gonna get. I think this was actual gameplay. They basically said in the past, a couple weeks ago or whatever, they were like Horizon 2 is going to be the showcase of next gen graphics, and they were really hyping this game up to be this is what PS5 is capable of type thing. We didn't get actual like behind the alloy point of view gameplay. We did get her riding like horseback or whatever you want to call that.
Yeah, that section was zoomed out.
Yeah, and that I think that was gameplay of that.
Yeah, it looked like gameplay to me.
I think when she was swimming,
UI.
we did get that view behind that as if this is like gameplay of you swimming through the water. So I think that was taken from the gameplay. There was like a mix of CG. It seemed like. I mean, I don't know at this point. It seemed like there was a mix of CG. Yeah, but yeah, I mean this game looked just really good for me. I liked Horizon Zero Dawn so much. So Andrew, this was their big game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with what you said because it didn't look unbelievably, unbelievable. It looked what I would expect your big first party game for next gen to look like. So I looked at it and I thought it looked fantastic. I never thought it wasn't real gameplay, especially the underwater. Like it was very bright, vibrant, and it looked really nice.
Yeah, I mean, and that was the big reveal there, the last big game. Now here's where it gets fun. I think we talked about it a little bit in the beginning, but I want to get, now that we have audio from Andrew, this is an Xbox, Mr. Xbox himself. This is his take on the PlayStation 5 console reveal. I want to know what you think of the console. I want to know what you think of the two different SKUs. We got an all digital, we got the regular one. I want to know what you think after seeing this entire presentation. This package, all in one package here. Is this enough? Okay, and then I want you to end it with, is it enough to make you want to go out and buy a PlayStation 5? Or are you just holding on to July and you're going to wait and see what, you're going to be like, wait a second. Wait for July, Halo Infinite, and Microsoft first parties. So what's up, Mr. Xbox? Andrew Hofflich, what's up?
It's like I told you on the phone call. This was the first, this is no lie, this is the first PlayStation conference that I actually watched the entire thing. Like it did have me, it had its, and I even text you, I said it has the little Xbox feel here in the middle. It started to sprinkle in some filler games, but then it, towards the end, it started to kick it up again. So it definitely kept my interest. So the games look great. There was, what did I say, 3 games there that really caught my attention personally. And then, but the rest of them looked great. The console itself.
To clarify, Ratchet and Clank was one of those games. Sackboy, Adventure, and then I guess Horizon Forbidden West. Those are the 3 games that caught your attention, I think.
Oh, Ratchet and Clank and that Destruction game.
Oh, and Destruction All-Stars, yes.
Yeah, the All-Star, Destruction All-Stars.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they all caught my eye. I thought Ratchet and Clank looked just great, for that game. It looked great how fast things were happening. The glass breaking when he was going through that whatever you want, the tunnel or whatever, but the glass broke out. Like that looked really awesome. But yeah, the games look great. The Horizon Zero Dawn, it's not a game I'd personally play, but as far as showing off the power of what we're getting for next gen, like, hey, Halo has, and it does worry me about Xbox's conference coming up, just with them wanting to keep the Xbox One involved, which I like, but then I don't want them to dumb down anything. Like, Halo better look. Yeah. I mean, Halo was never a stunningly graphically powerhouse game, but
I guess with Halo 1 was the last time that was a thing.
Yeah, like
people were like,
it needs to look close, because if they come out and it just looks, a beefed up Series or Xbox One X, you're gonna hear some backlash, because I mean, you can't deny it. It's like, that's your big boy game. It's got to look good. Mm-hmm. I do think Forza, but I still need to go back and watch the Gran Turismo. Because I used to love, I love Gran Turismo. Like, that's what got me into racing games. But over time, they started to really slack, whereas Forza came in and really it took over. You can't deny it. So I have to watch that one in 4K, because the clip we saw, or the trailer we saw, that didn't impress me. So I do want to see exactly how racing games are going to look on next gen, because I know in my mind what they should look like. But other than that, the games look great. The console itself, I love the design. I really do. Like, at first, when they were going through the build up for it, and they started to do like the rock wall, I swore it was going to end up being a tower, just like the Xbox. I was like, oh no. so when they came out, and they I like it, because they mixed all of their brands together, like all, like the PS2, the PS3, the PS4.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Yeah, but then it matches the controller almost perfectly.
Yeah.
So I did like it. I mean, me personally, I'd probably go with an all black just for my entertainment setup. But no, I thought the conference itself was great. I like it. It did. It held my attention. It's got me excited knowing that now Xbox has to, like, Microsoft's got to sit down, and because they go first. And PlayStation usually follows them right away during E3. So now Microsoft gets to turn around and think about it and really put together, what can this Series X do, like, with this extra power? Can you top that? Because you can't show games that don't look that good, but yet your you're touting the bigger console. So
Mhm.
it's definitely got me excited. As for the SKUs, it's like I told you on the phone. I think that was not an afterthought, but I think that wasn't the original plan for Sony. And I think that once they realize the price may be an issue, it's an extremely smart move.
Yep.
And I think they ended up bringing that in, and it's a great move for them.
Now, do you
Um,
think Xbox has already had this in the works with Lockhart for a while now, and PlayStation just got the jump on them and announced the all digital, and
I
Xbox is going
do,
to do something similar with
I
an all.
do, but I'm thinking the Lockhart didn't they? That's rumored to be like a less powerful console, though.
Yeah, that is the rumor, which would be interesting
I don't
if
think
that's the
we're
case.
going to hear Lockhart. That's just my prediction. I think we're going to get the Series S. Or you know what I mean? Like it's going to
Oh,
be the Series X, but it's going to be
yeah.
just without a disk drive.
So you think we're not going to get what Lockhart is
No,
per se. We're just going to get an Xbox Series X diskless drive.
I think they'll do exactly what Sony's doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
it'll just be
Yeah.
called Series X, all digital or something like that.
Yeah, because I've never understood when they were talking about the possibility of a less powerful next gen console.
You
Why
know
why
where my
why would
mind
you bring
was?
that out?
You know where my mind goes for that? Switch competitor. Just saying.
Oh.
What if?
It
What
could
if?
be,
But,
could
What
be.
if it is portable?
but you know, like Andrew brings up a good point there, and that's what I think we said in the last podcast or the one beforehand, where it's just like
Yeah.
I don't see the point in having a new Xbox slightly less powerful
Mhm.
than
Right.
the one they're wanting to launch. I was like, I don't get that. Why would you want a mid-range upgrade to the new console? You
Right.
want a new console,
Exactly.
powerful. So yeah, I agree with Andrew there 100%. I think they'll definitely go with pretty much what Sony did today.
Okay. Andrew. Yeah. I mean, like, what do you think of the other things with it? What is your final score on this?
Oh, and I also want to know
Oh,
more
okay.
about
Yeah.
the audio. I still don't think they've dug
Yeah,
deep
that's a big
enough
thing.
into the audio for me because they're touting
Yeah.
their 3D audio, but how does that really separate from Dolby Atmos?
Mhm.
That how I want to know, especially me being I'm an audiophile. I love my my sound, so
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do want to know about that. That seems very interesting that they still haven't dug into yet.
Yeah,
I think
and
that's going to be kind of hard to explain. I think maybe
Mark Cerny
similar to like
tried.
the VR, right? You
Yeah,
have to try VR. I
you
think it's
got to
going to be the
try.
very same for the 3D audio. I think.
Because
And
like during the stream, I honestly feel like they made the stream 1080p just because they wanted to bring this audio in at the showcase audio during this stream. Because man, I had my headsets on, which are Dolby Atmos headsets, and I had them cranked up. And I'm wondering if like is Sony 3D audio, is it just a competitor to Dolby Atmos, or is it something completely different? Is
well,
this
Mm.
that's the other thing. Like I was watching it on through YouTube. I was watching it through the IGN feed,
Mhm.
and it's just broadcasting through regular stereo. So it sounded great, but that's the other question I have with the 3D audio. Is that strictly a headset deal, like to get the sounds under you and stuff?
Yeah, do you
Because
have to buy that
how,
headset?
like with my Atmos setup at the home theater, how would they incorporate that 3D audio through my home theater without having to wear headsets?
Yeah, from Mark Cerny's talk they had there. At first, it sounds like it's going to be through the audio, but I think they are working on a way of bringing the audio through, the TV or your surround sounds, whatever setup you have. So I think that's a bit further down the line, but I think kind of at launch for the PS5, they're wanting the 3D audio, especially go through the headset. So
Right.
time will tell.
All right, so to wrap up Mr. Xbox's thoughts here, just give me an all-in-one package. What did you think of the presentation? Give me a final grade. Just basically just like a final grade
To the point.
and why. Yeah,
I I thought as a
out of 10. Or
just
or maybe
out,
let's just go A B C D E. Let's go elementary school.
I'll
You
give
can
you
use
what
A
you
plus
want.
if you want.
Okay, for a strictly with take all personal things out of it, like of what I prefer as a conference, substituting for an E3 conference, I give it an A. I thought I did like a lot of things they did. Like I even told you, like with the gameplay, I liked how they would show a trailer, but then that wasn't it. Even if it was a 30-second quick, here's some gameplay, they gave it to you. So I give them an A. And then the console reveal, I felt it was coming the whole time with all the X and triangles and stuff. So I had a feeling it was coming, but I was so happy they finally showed it.
The build-up is awesome
out there. Yeah, so I give it an A. As a personal standpoint, is it enough to get me to personally go buy the PS5 at launch? No, but I back that up with, unlike the PS4 where I had zero interest and technically really never owned one and didn't even own a PS3, would I own a PS5 later? Yes, because they do have, like I said, the audio's got me intrigued. They did showcase more than just their standard, third-person adventure games. Like they I think Peter said it earlier in this broadcast or this chat. He said that they hit kind of whatever game you were looking for. They kind of gave you something. And normally that's not PlayStation. You can always laugh at them for they always got the same stuff, like same style of games. But so yeah, it's got me intrigued, man. Like that was a good conference for them, and normally I just go away laughing at them. That they got me intrigued. I'm not gonna lie.
So an A from Andrew. Wow, and that is Mr. Xbox. Thank you so much for that beautiful wrapped package conversation, whatever you want to call it, man. That was great from Mr. Xbox himself. And now we're just going to go back around the room, and we're going to.
For having me, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you so much for joining us and putting that Xbox insight of what are Xbox fans thinking right now. And I think Andrew speaks for all of them. It's time for Microsoft. They're going to have to step up. They're going to have to match the quality, the presentation, and the delivery of this PlayStation 5 event.
And the variety.
And the variety. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So thank you so much, Andrew. We're going to bring Steven back in here. We're going to get a final grade on this PS5 event. Thank you, Holmes. All right, here we go. We got Steven back in here. Steven, what's up, man? What did you think of the PlayStation all-in-one? Just give me a wrap-up of this, meaning console, games, and the presentation itself. Give me a grade. We'll go schoolyard, whatever. Give me A plus, B plus, whatever you want. B minus. I don't mind.
I gotta say, I'm honestly surprised Andrew gave it an A. Like, I was not expecting that. Because I'm not going to give it an A. I will say, like I said before, I thought it was really good. I like the variety of games they had. They did show some new IPs, which was kind of what I was hoping they would do. I did like the Spider-Man to kind of kick it off, to get you really rolling with what they were coming with. And then they did the Horizon Zero Dawn 2. And then also the console reveal, which is kind of like a, finally, God. I gave it a B plus. I want to give it an A. I thought it was really good, but I don't think it was like great. But I do like kind of agree with the way Andrew kind of said it. They hit every single, kind of nail on the head when it comes to game types. I want to say there was more games I kind of wasn't totally interested in than there was games that I was. Like I said before, I'll eventually get a PS5. I'm just not going to get it at launch. But yeah, I give it a B plus.
B plus. Hey, B plus is still a really good grade. So awesome. All right. Yeah. And let's go, Peter. Peter, what's up, man? And what was, the same situation, dude.
Yeah. Wow. The PlayStation had a lot riding on this. For me, it was essentially an E3 press conference, and that's the way they presented it. The production quality was top notch. Jim Ryan was there. He's like, all right, that's the game. Let the games do the talk. For me, I think I'm gonna give it an A plus. Mainly, probably not too surprising.
Whoa!
Yeah. For
Yo, when we
me,
go,
I think
oh, I'm sorry, man. When you say A plus, Peter, are you saying 95% or higher, or are you saying 100% perfect conference?
I cool 90 plus. I think, right?
95 plus. Okay, we're good.
But that's not an A
I'm
plus. That's still an A.
95
well,
and
for
up is
me
A
it is.
plus. 95 and up.
Yeah, well, I'm
All right,
going A
go
plus.
ahead.
But no,
I
I
can't.
think
I
I
can
just
say I'm not surprised.
I just had to clarify, man, because like I don't know if it was perfect or whatever. But okay, go ahead, Peter.
yeah, no. See, for me, what I wanted, they absolutely delivered, and that's important for me as a fan. They had about like 4 exclusives shown. They had some gameplay shown in there. They had probably the biggest thing was probably the console itself and the overall package. Not everything was to my tastes, but that's going to be here or there for whoever likes it. But I think they absolutely nailed it as a presentation in such odd times as well. I think you had to give them a lot of credit, and I think when I was watching that, I was just like, well, Xbox, this is how you do a conference, and I think Xbox are going to follow very much on that path for their one next month.
Mhm.
So I, I was pretty happy with that. It's pretty much what I expected, but at the same time, I was just like, I really hope they show what they showed, which they did. The Horizon, Spider-Man, the console reveal, and it's very rare where the console reveal is almost as big as one of their top games they're showing. And that's what it felt like me, and I think a lot of people as well. You see online, so very solid for me. Like, as a PlayStation fan, I really liked it. Um, yeah, I'm gonna stick with A plus. I think. Maybe I'll change tomorrow if I review it again, but at the moment, how I feel about it after waiting so long to
We'll
see
probably
something,
give it
to
an
hear
A plus
something.
plus.
Who knows? Yeah, no, I think it probably deserves an A plus. I think
All right, yeah.
for what it nailed.
So Pater gives it an A plus. Steven gives it a B plus. Um, yeah, I mean, for me, I'm going A plus as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and this was just this is exactly how you do it. Especially,
Yeah,
you know what, A plus with the the stipulation of like, hey, this is quarantine conference. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's what you have to take into consideration. Yeah,
Yeah, so what they were the circumstances they were in and how it was delivered, the way it was marketed, the way it was promoted, and like just this felt like it was going to be big, and I was so going into this just thinking, God, my hype levels are way too high for them to just to give me a trailer fest of like indie
yeah.
games and stuff like this. That I mean, hey, cool. I'm glad you're indie games. There's Guerrilla Collective and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? But I was like, this is PlayStation. They better not just disappoint me. I was kind of disappointed. I didn't see Knack 3. I don't care what anybody says. I wanted a Knack 3. Or
That's all I got. An A plus for me. There's no actually.
there was no Knack 3. But it didn't matter.
Wow.
It didn't matter. They showed us Ratchet and Clank. They showed us so many
Yeah.
awesome games that like literally when it ended, I was still riding a high. Like I was like this my hype levels were up here and they were not let down. I'm so tired of going into this roller coaster that I've been on where like I'm so freaking hyped for Final Fantasy VII Remake. They disappoint me. It's okay. And we go back up to this and like, you know what I mean? Like the big games reveal for Series X, it didn't show any gameplay. Back down. You know what I mean? Like, so this actually lives up to my what I was hyped about going into it. I mean, they had big surprises, big reveals. They showed the console, which is what they really needed to do. Because let's be honest, if they didn't show the console, all those games that they revealed would have just been a little headline. That console
Yeah.
is everywhere. It is all over Twitter right now. It's blowing up. And then all the games that were attached to that reveal are getting the same attention and same love. So this was, and the build up to the console reveal was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, if they didn't show the console with that build up in between the transitions of them showing like things, I'm like, the console, I just feel like it's just gonna pop up. Like just like in between a transition from like a like freaking that rocket ship game, like a boom console, and I would have been like,
Yeah.
"What?" But I love the build up to it. I love that it followed right after Horizon, the sequel to Horizon, Forbidden Wild. That
No,
looked
West.
Forget. Okay. I feel like there is like a Frozen
yeah.
Wilds or something like that that's throwing me off.
Yeah, that's the DLC.
Okay. Anyway. Okay. So Forbidden
Yeah,
West.
it's
Yeah. So the fact that it followed right after that, God, and then just like coming out of like the polygonal thing going on, man, and just pops
that
up,
did look cool,
dude. And because I'm sitting here like, I think I did do a live react to it, but I might attach it to this video or something. But like I was just like, "You're gonna show what is going on? What are you doing? What are you doing?" They finally showed it. I almost had a feeling it was just gonna go tune in for July. Or something.
It would not have surprised me.
It wouldn't have surprised me, but like, hey, they did it. They showed it, and the fact that it looks like a space tech, it just looks super cool. Bringing back that fun, aspect of console designs. Not that I have anything against the Series X design that looks like a PC tower. That's cool. It looks powerful. This one looks like the future. You know what I mean? Like this is what
It looks next gen.
Yeah, it looks next gen. It looks like it just looks like a fun machine to play on. I'm excited. So yeah, my overall grade A+, man. This is exactly how I wanted to see this conference go, and that's it. I got Bagels 90 writing in on the chat. We're gonna go ahead and give this one fan review here. Not fan review. This is Greg Bagley. You guys can see him on the podcast eventually once he gets his schedule straight. Once he gets his schedule straight. All right, he is a big Xbox guy, just like Andrew was. So we have Andrew and Bagels. They're going to be your Xbox spokespersons, especially on the upcoming Console Wars series that we're going to have here on Game Night. I believe this is episode 1 of it actually right now. Anyway, so Bagels 90, he says, meh, C+, maybe B-. Aside from woo, he says, aside from showing Horizon, Spider-Man, and Ratchet and Clank, it was pretty boring. And I'm still worried about the overheating issues based off of the design. Now he's referring to some leaks and rumors or whatever earlier where devs were saying that there was an overheating issue. But yeah, he says C+, maybe B-. That's kind of crazy. Oh, we got Andrew on deck saying he would like to make one final comment. So we're going to bring it over to Andrew real quick. And then we'll close out the show. So here comes Andrew.
What is it?
All right, Andrew.
Get it out.
What's up?
You guys,
Say it.
you guys hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
I just want to make one final comment on this post. Can we get a little chant going? Here we go. Xbox. Here we go.
Oh,
let's go.
Here we go.
Andrew coming in to start the let's go Xbox chant.
I just want to say, power your dreams, boys. Power your dreams. Let's get the next gen, baby.
All right, Holmes, thanks so much for joining us, man. Andrew with the here we go Xbox. There we go. We'll see you in July, Andrew, or maybe hopefully sooner.
I am looking forward to it.
Yeah. We'll have Andrew back on with the voice of Xbox for our Console Wars series. All right, now we're going to go close this one out, guys. Thank you so much for joining this awesome reaction to the PlayStation 5 event. That was just loved it. A+ from me, A+ from Peter, B+ from Steven. We had what did Andrew give it? An A? An A from Andrew, and Bagels 90 gives it a C+, maybe B-. Ooh, can't wait to have him on the show to kind of hear more about that. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. And this is Game Night.
Thanks, guys.